banana peppers! I'm back, and I finally got something that I have been looking for forever and at a reasonable price. I had such a wild experience with this guy today. I feel like I've been talking about this somewhat here and there, that this is always like something from my childhood that I remember, that I've always wanted, and I never had one of these growing up, and they are called My Pet Monsters. Does anybody remember these things? It was just something that always stuck with me, literally since I was like a baby, rolling in my little baby push cart through Toys R Us. Did I already say they were called My Pet Monster? I feel like I'm like so scrambly. I know that now we're just jumping topics. Should I finish talking about monsters or start talking about seasonal depression? Just something fun or something not so fun. I don't know. We'll finish talking about monsters. Anyway, My Pet Monster, he is actually from 1985. So same year I was born, this monster debuted into the world, but finding them in good condition for not an arm and a leg is actually quite a challenge. And this is an item that they what did they call it? Like re-released over the years. So I think in the early 2000s, they came out with another edition of My Pet Monster. It's kind of like Creepy Crawlers, which actually started out, I believe, as Thing Maker in like the mid to late 60s. And then they revamped it in like the mid 90s as Creepy Crawlers. Maybe there was something else in the 70s as well. It's like a toy that just keeps coming back and back and back. And that's kind of what happened with My Pet Monster, although not as many times as My Pet Monster re-debuted. It looks like I'm like shaking him around, but I had such a stupid experience with this thing. So I found him on eBay, my favorite place to shop lately. And I found this one for such a good deal, which is crazy because he's kind of one of the best condition ones I've ever seen come up. Like rarely do you see them like with this bright and nice looking fur, and that the kind of like, I don't know what you call this fabric. It's soft, but it's kind of like got a plastic feel to the exterior. But a lot of times the hands and feet will be cracked. He'll be missing his little cuff things here. So the only thing that this one was missing was the box, and you guys know I don't care about that anyway. But I had no idea that these things were so heavy. Like, this is a very heavy child's toy in my opinion. Like, I would love to actually, I don't even own a scale, but I would love to put him on a scale and see how much he weighs. Like probably at least like 3 pounds, maybe like 5 pounds. It's crazy, and I did not know. Do you guys hear this? Okay, this was a product of my demise today. So I was cutting open the box with Dogman because he came in like a big giant box, and I was just like, what? Like just opening this box. I didn't even know what was inside of the box. I was just like ravenously opening this box that I got in the mail today. And I saw that it was him, and I didn't know he was like all wrapped in like, I don't know, peanuts and plastic wrap and everything else. And so I literally was just like face down in the box and pulled this thing up, and it like bonked me in the freaking head, like big plastic nose to the head. And I hope it's not gonna bruise, because that's literally the most embarrassing thing, to like unbox a toy and just bonk a giant plastic schnoz into the side of your head. But I was kind of like, oh, like, you guys know that I panic about like the stupidest things, like especially like if it has anything to do with like pain or like, I don't know, anything that's like medical in the slightest, just whew, like gets me going. And so I started kind of like panicking about it, which is just so stupid. It's like almost embarrassing to admit sometimes the things that I get like cycled into my brain and turn into a big deal when it's not a big deal at all. And I feel like I had like a little bump right here. I just did First Impression Friday, so I still have tiny little bits of face mask peeling off my face, but I felt like I had like a little bump here earlier, but now thankfully it looks like there's no bump. But I don't know. I don't know. I hope I'm not gonna like wake up tomorrow with like a big bruise. Oh my god, so embarrassing. But Oh, and then it just like took me forever to get started on today's video, and I like really like forced myself to film it anyway because it was a first impression Friday and I wanted to really get back into that. Although I do kind of hate when I do that to myself sometimes, where the day of the week is in the title of the video, because then I feel like I can't be like a day late on a first impression Friday, because then it just doesn't make any sense. Then it's first impression Saturday, or like wreck it Thursday. It just doesn't make any sense. And so literally I was just like sitting there this happened like late afternoon, so then I was just like sitting there like all early evening, like trying to get myself to get up and film a video. And I'm just like, oh, like sometimes this time of year is literally the worst. I hate like the winter time, and we always get the coldest months in Texas if it's gonna be cold. I was really hoping this year we would get a mild winter, but we're not. And so if we ever have cold weather, it's between like January and February is where it's the worst, because like we don't really get fall at all, and we don't get winter like at winter time, or like when people traditionally, I guess, I don't know, I'm not a much traveled person. I just assume like in most places in the world it starts getting colder in like, you know, November, December, like maybe even October, but like we really don't get that like all through December. I think like a couple days, I don't know. Well, we did have snow one day in December, so I'm kind of fibbing. It's been a really weird year. Why do I just incessantly talk about the weather? I am like your 80-year-old grandmother. But I don't know, it's just been so weird. Like we had snow, and then like the next week it was like well back into the 70s again, like 76, 78. And now all of a sudden it's just taken this crazy turn. And like at night it's been in the 20s, which is absurd here. And I know it's so much worse in other places, but it just makes me go bonkers. Like I just don't want to leave the house. It's so uncomfortable. And I'm kind of like generally, I was trying to say genuinely, but I meant generally. I'm kind of like generally like, I got interrupted mid-sentence because my memory card ran out of room, like always. Anyway, I'm like generally kind of like an outdoorsy kind of person. Like I'm not into like camping or like sports or like wallowing in the mud or anything like that, but I do always love to have like the windows open, or like to drive around with my windows open in my car, or to like take a lot of walks outside throughout the day. So I guess I'm more of like a fresh air person is a better way to describe it. And so I feel like it just makes me absolutely miserable this time of year because it's just too cold. Like I just don't want to walk away from the fireplace or the hair dryer or whatever is keeping me warm at the present moment. And I feel like it also like just makes me in a really weird mood. I don't know, but I feel like it's kind of been better this year because I'm really like giving myself tasks to focus on. Like I've been doing a lot of cleaning lately. I've been cleaning out one room entirely that we've been working on. I said Dogman and I were kind of turning that into a little pet project. We're gonna turn it into a 90s themed room for all of the nostalgia videos that's gonna be happening on Graveyard Girl this year. And I've also just like, we've been cleaning through a lot of stuff. Like I've been going through my makeup collection and just getting rid of products that are too old. And I've been donating a lot of products that I haven't gotten around to using. Nothing that's like too old, obviously, but just, you know, that I've gotten in the past month or so that I just don't think I'm gonna get to. Giving some of it away to family and friends, like just kind of trying to donate like a lot of clothes that I don't wear anymore. So it's just been, I don't know, I'm kind of a person that likes to do that though, which is like really odd because I feel like I just like let stuff stack up until it's an utter pigsty, a la the background right now. But then I just love to go through and have a big giant purge and just get rid of everything. It's like kind of like, I don't know why I enjoy that experience, but I do. And I don't know why I'm like holding this phone, but oh my God, you guys, I'm starting to believe everything I ever heard, that cameras on Androids are better than iPhones. which is crazy to me, because I was just telling Leanne that the other day that I actually got like an Android phone, and she was like, what, you heckled me for years? And I was just always like asking her, I was like, why do you not have an iPhone? Why? And then Google actually blessed me with a surprise package, and so this is the Pixel 2. I don't think this is the XL version. I think that this is just the regular Pixel 2, but I've been taking a lot more photos for Instagram lately because the camera is just like amazing. It's crazy. But I don't think I could ever like fully switch over. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like some days I don't want to put this phone down and pick up the iPhone, but I don't know. I'm also like scared to like completely make that switch. Crazy. What else was I going to tell you guys about? Yeah, I don't know. I've just been trying to like beat seasonal depression down with a stick, but it was so weird because sometimes I feel like, oh, I forgot I was wearing mascara today. My eyes are so itchy. That's the other thing. It's like allergies, seasonal depression. Makes a fun little life soup for everyone to enjoy, I'm sure. But I don't know, like I was like reading comments on my video the other day. I'm trying to remember which video it was. I'm trying to remember. It can't be the 17. I don't think it was a 17. No, it was Swamp Family Mail, and everybody, like the top comment on that video I think is like about how I had like 26 mood swings in one video. It's not the top comment anymore. But it's just so weird, like, and now I feel like I'm second guessing myself. Like, it's so weird how like one comment will just be, what is it called? Like a, no, that's when you get a song stuck in your head where it's like an earworm, but it's almost like the same thing. I think it was like an episode of Star Trek where the worm just like crawls in the people's ears and they're like, ah! Like just overacting in the 60s that I love. But then when I was like filming today, I was like, oh my God, like, am I having a mood swing? Am I having a mood swing? And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's like really hard for me to keep like sustained, excited energy throughout an entire video without just being like over the top and stupid. And I always sit down, I'm like so excited to get started filming. And then like, you know, today it was like a process. It was like a face mask. So then you're just like sitting there for 20 minutes plus like idly staring at a clock, waiting for time to disappear. So I don't know, it just like does weird things, I feel like, to your mood as you're filming. I don't know. I feel like sometimes and some days I have a problem with like sustaining like exciting like vlog energy, and then I feel like I'm just like trying to explain how something works. Or I felt like the other day in the mail video, I was like thinking about different memories I was having like with the products. And so I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like everybody on YouTube is just always like second guessing me from like some psychiatric angle at this point. And I'm like, oh my God, like am I really that much of like a freak show? Like, do other people like not have like different emotions like for hour blocks at a time? Like, I can't be the only one. I don't know why I'm like just suddenly giving myself a relaxing scalp massage, and I'm kind of really loving this at the moment. I briefly talked about it in my First Impression Friday video, but every time I wash my hair now, because I cannot stand the cold weather, and so I'm really not able to tolerate washing my hair in super cold water like I normally do after I get it dyed, the black is kind of fading onto the blonde more, but it's giving me like these gray, like almost like blue gray looking chunks in the blonde, and I'm kind of really loving it. Like every time I wash my hair, it's getting like a little bit grayer in the blonde, and I'm kind of digging it. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It did that a little bit last time when we put some black chunks back in my hair, but obviously like we didn't put that much black back in my hair. If you guys even remember my hair last year, last November I think is when we added the black back in, but there wasn't like nearly this much, and it only faded a couple of times, and so there was a little bit of gray, but it went away like very quickly. And this time it's like staying a lot longer. There's more black to fade into the blonde. We iced out the blonde a little bit more, so it made the blonde, I feel like, more susceptible to soak up the black dye. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. So I think the next video on Graveyard Girl is gonna be Swamp Family Mail, and I'm really into making Swamp Family Mail videos lately. I was thinking about like what are the next couple things I have to film, and I really wanted to do another Swamp Family Mail, but I was like, oh, people are gonna like get sick of it. I don't know why I have a personality like that where literally like I start doing does this thing really work, and then that's all I want to do, and then I start doing like makeup related videos and that's all I want to do, and now I'm really into doing mail videos and that's all I want to do. But I don't think that the next one is going to be 90s themed necessarily, because I feel like people are almost getting a little sick of that. I don't know, it's always hard to tell. But then again, as I said in my last video, this is going to be more of my year where I ask less questions and just kind of like do the things that I feel like doing. I don't know. I want to have like a better year overall this year than last year. So I'm going to stop doing, at least try and stop doing the things that absolutely drive me crazy. I mean, I like input, but I definitely do feel like I was a much happier person when I was just kind of like going my own way. And there's just so much crazy stuff. Like I heard this fact the other day. I don't know if it's true or false. Confirm or deny, but I heard that like 50% of your views now come from your thumbnail, which is so bad for me because I feel like just overall on YouTube, like I don't have good like photoshopping skills, and I don't really have like a background that like lends itself to look like super crisp and amazing for thumbnails. And I don't know, I feel like it's just gonna have to be something that I kind of put my nose to the grindstone this year and just like learn how to make better thumbnails, because I literally, like, thumbnail is just kind of like the last thing that I ever think of, you know? I'm just always like, I want to make like a fun video, I want the content to be fun, and I've just always concentrated on like the actual content of the video. But I guess now I'm learning that that's only like halfway important. I don't know, it's just like, you guys, this past year, I know you guys said in the last vlog that you kind of liked hearing some of the more like inside YouTube stuff, but I literally do feel like in this past year, it's just been like square one where I'm like relearning how to YouTube all over again. It's like literally like you can just say that like last year basically felt like my first year on YouTube all over again. Like I know nothing anymore. I don't know anything that I'm supposed to be doing, anything that I should be doing, anything, I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm just like trying to learn, trying to keep up. And it's just been kind of like, I keep wanting to say maelstrom, but that was just the ride at Disney World at Epcot in Norway. So I'm not exactly sure if that's the word that I'm looking for. I don't know, but sometimes it's hard. Like I'm a creature of habit. So sometimes it's hard for me to like adapt to new things, I guess you could say, or like completely like switching up my tactics. You know, I mean, I don't know. I would have been happy if things just kept on going the way they'd always been going, ceaselessly, ever, never changing. But it's also good to like learn new things, but I don't know. I just like, it just always brings me back to like the same kind of like clickbait thing. Like I don't want to be clickbaity, but yet that's what really provides success. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like kind of being almost like forced to do something that you don't want to do, but it's like if you don't do it, it's like not good. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, kind of crazy. You know what? We're gonna open this one thing. We're gonna open this one thing because it's been on my desk forever, and I really am looking for one of these characters. So we opened these forever ago. I think some of them on Graveyard Girl, like probably 2 or 3 years ago. But this is by Tokidoki and it's the Mufia series. So a lot of times it's the really cute, like milk kind of characters. And I got this at that, it was like a Vlogmas vlog. If you guys saw that one, it was like the thumbnail. I'll link it to you guys down below just in case you care. There was a lot of cute stuff in that video. I was holding a giant Karopi, and I went to this really cool store in San Antonio called Little Surprises, and they have a lot of stuff like this. I didn't even know they had a new series of these from Tokidoki, but these are called Breakfast Buddies. And so all of the characters, like, oh my gosh, I'm looking for these two. So I hope I only got one. Why? I don't know. But I'm really looking for Be Sweet, which is the little honey container, or Cherries, which looks like a little double thing of yogurt, I guess. I mean, they're all cute, but those are the ones that I'm really looking for. So let's see if we're gonna get it. Some of you guys, I think it was in the last Banana Peppers vlog, y'all said that there were some websites or something where people actually listed the barcodes of which one would be which is kind of cheating. But I mean, if you're just kind of like looking for one, that would be like really helpful. I didn't see anything about these though. Now I'm just babbling, so I hope you guys like babbling. I'm not even gonna spoil it for myself and try and feel what I think I got. What did I get? What? This one is so adorable. His name is Berry Jams. This is kind of like the one that I didn't know I wanted. These are so awesome. Look, he's like a little translucent. He looks like, what, strawberry jam? Or is that raspberries? I can't tell what fruit is. But he's like translucent. And he's just like a little thing of jam. And he looks like he's like jamming out. Like this is a guitar. Oh my god. These are adorable. I want to get a whole case of these now. Oh my gosh. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different options, and that's including the chaser, which I think is like a Bloody Mary. It looks like a drink with a little celery stick stuck inside of it. But it's very cute. I didn't realize so many of these had translucent, transparent qualities. I don't know, maybe I can find like a whole case on Amazon or something. I keep wanting to get back up to Austin, San Antonio kind of area. I really only go to San Antonio once a year for the Christmas lights in December, but I'm definitely trying to get back up to Austin. So maybe they'll have them at Toy Joy or something like that, because this is ones that I would definitely like to open like an entire case of them. I think that should be the next video on this channel. As I was cleaning up the other day, I found a ton of Japanese Gashpon that I had not opened yet, and I also have several cases of blind boxes that we can get into. So that's about it for me today. You guys, wish me luck that I don't get a giant bruise from my little pet buddy here. I'm still on the quest for one of these things. They had a bunch of different toys in this line, and some of them were like little miniature monsters, and that's the only one I ever had. He had a like chain thing, not around his hands, but around his neck, and I think he was just a big giant eyeball. I don't know where he went. It's just like things that I don't ever remember throwing away in my life, but I just don't have them anymore. Oh my gosh. And then one toy that I found the other day that I really thought would make a fun video for how I told you guys like I wanted to do like testing out like old nostalgic toys. You know, I think I said that in the last video. I found Vac-Man, which was Stretch Armstrong's nemesis. He was like this red figure. He was like full of these pellets, and you had this like syringe thing, and you put it in his neck, you sucked all the air out, and then you could like, I don't know, he would like hold these positions that you stretched him in. I don't know. I thought that would be a fun one. But I'm on the quest. I do remember throwing away my Vac-Man because he, like, the rubber gave out and he was just like spilling his insides everywhere. It was not a good day for Vac-Man, so I know I would have to buy a new one of those. But anyway, ramble, scrambled eggs in today's video. If you like a long one, that's what you got today. I hope that I will be back here over the weekend. I have really been looking forward to coming back to this channel and checking in with you guys, hanging out. So I'm glad we've got time for that in January. I'm really enjoying it. I'm sad I kind of deserted this channel for so long, but hey, we're back. Okay. I love you guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay sassy, and I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.